Welcome back, everyone, to Sanity Lost, where we have potentially, no, it's planned, 2 more parts. It should be done, unless, I don't know.
I was going to say, you're not going to give us the option.
Hey, I'm just saying, there could be options, but, I don't know. I think, for everything that's planned, this is like well, besides the beginning, the most planned part of this whole thing. Because I could let you guys go free reign like I normally do, but then I think you would just cause more questions.
Questions? What?
This is much more of the most I think the controlled chaos will be, where it's just like, no, this is kind of like how the epilogue was, where it's a little bit more on rails. There's still stuff you can do and everything, but
you're not going to give us control.
You have control of your character.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what to say. I didn't tell you to be like, Deli's wearing 32 pounds of hemp.
Thank you for giving me that choice. I feel very autonomous in this character right now.
You're welcome.
And Deli only weighs like 60 pounds herself.
Yeah,
it's how she keeps herself from
homeless.
floating away. She's not homeless. She has a very successful old bookstore. Thank you very much.
We'll see.
You'll see. I'm going to take my bookstore away now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Roll library.
There's a reason why I'm called the keeper.
I
keep
have
everything.
Good library, so it's
Roll
fine.
accounting.
I don't have that, actually.
But no, don't worry. There's stuff coming up where you'll be able to do the freedom stuff. This is just to make sure, as we were saying last episode, to make sure that the potential things that could close some of the questions actually get the information out. But there will be time for all the different things to do to express your creativity.
It's fine. We've been expressing our creativity for 100 and something episodes. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. I thought it was one of those things where I'm like, it's kind of like our normal recording thing, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. This isn't mainly me just wanting to get all 3 episodes in, but I just kind of want to jump back into it because it was just like, I don't know. I don't have a ton of like fun like icebreaker questions, and I felt like we broken the ice 103 times already. So
We have, so it's fine.
Yeah. So with that, who are you voting for now?
Oh my gosh. I can't with you right now. Too much.
Look, the season 2 is going to be Cthulhu and politics, and it's going to be the Eldritch Horror.
I might.
No, like
I
we're not
take it
talking
back.
about politics. We're not talking about politics. We are politics. Like, okay.
Are politics? No.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna play civil servants, and you gotta be like, okay, well, I'm gonna pray to the great Lord Shoggoth, so that way I can get all the votes of the dead.
Oh my gosh. Like I said, I think I might be out. Sorry.
So it's like,
Don't worry.
so is it like
Real
Clock
life.
Tower? Is it Clock Tower
I
where
don't
the
know.
dead only get one more vote, or is it dead get voted as many times?
It depends on your political party.
Wow.
Yeah, let me help it along.
Wow.
But anyway, we're
Jeez
gonna
Louise.
jump right into it. Here, music. We're jumping right into this because I don't know. I'm enjoying this story that I wrote like 3 weeks ago. All right. So, I got a message. Hello, message. We're in a poorly lit, crammed room as the camera is showing the 5 people that were there earlier. Now, their ceremony is complete as we see the 4 bronze bowls, one filled with hair, one filled with blood, one filled with animal fat, and one filled with something else that I completely forgot what it was. It's I used to know all this. And I lost it. But anyway, whatever the things were, I can't find it fast enough. As I look very quickly. And oh well, doesn't matter. We see the ceremony from that we've seen in the beginning of this series being done, but this time if it's the same one, if it's not, who knows? I do, but they're doing the ceremony as all these people are chanting together. I love how my phone ruins everything as I'm trying to bring up the information. It's killing the vibe, man. As they are chanting Surge Lignum Incendat Forastus. But now they're
Sorry, said bless you.
Oh, thank you. And in this room, there seems to be like crammed all around this, like in one side, this just multiple people. Like you would see robes and everything. It's not a ton because the inside of this place is not huge. But we see the boy that was helping the old man. He's kind of saying this as he's kind of like on the outside, as he kind of hears a twig snap. Like somehow he heard it through all the chants and everything, and he looks over and he hears a and confused he looks over as there's kind of this large hole, and he believes that he sees an eye looking in. But before he can go inspect that, the chanting stops. And he turns around, and the camera kind of like turns and like goes towards, as now that within the circle is a giant hole. As the older man goes up and looks into it, as he sees this coiled, burning creature just inside of it. And before he can say anything, this giant fist kind of reaches up and just crushes him. As like blood and viscera and like everything sprays over, as like everyone starts screaming and like there's tons of panic as all of a sudden like this creature is reaching out to the point where we see the camera goes like outside where that eye was looking in, and we see that it is Cutter's cabin. Seconds before it explodes, as this giant ox of a creature starts bellowing and screeching and coming out of the hole and into the real world, as we just hear what sounds like children saying, "Run! Run!" As they're running, as it kind of fades into darkness. And then like a bright light kind of flashes, like kind of fills the whole screen, as a flashlight kind of turns and everything. And we see a young Alexa Hudson before she was sheriff of Centralia. She, you see that she has this large, like kind of almost like heavy, looks like a very heavy gun, but like now like we see kind of on the barrels inscribed some runes that we are unable to like really study or anything, as she just starts like this ear-shattering shot as we see like this creature just screaming and running away, as she kind of loses sight of this monster for a second. And she chases it back, and she's now at the carnage of this site. As pretty much we see like the burnt and broken bodies of all these people in robes. It seems like whatever hole was there is now gone. There seems to be like some weird energy crackling, and she kind of sits there for a couple minutes listening, looking, before she just turns and runs towards a different location and to see if she can find any tracks. As she's walking away, like, the camera kind of sits down near the ground as we kind of see her light kind of going away in the distance, as we kind of see the mingling of ash and bodies on the floor, as this hand kind of reaches through this pile of ash, as we just hear as this human form begins to come out of the carnage that was left behind this creature. As 4 bodies rise: an average-looking man, another man that looks almost like a wound-up spring, a large human that seems to be built almost like a mountain, and a child. And as they kind of form and like reform themselves out of the ash and stuff, we see that this symbol appears on different parts of their body. On the average-looking man, the symbol appears on its tongue. On the one that's wound up like a spring, on its feet. The large creature on his chest, and the child in his left eye. Well, actually, both his eyes. As it glows a bright green, as we see this sigil of a snake biting its own tail around an eye. They kind of crackle with like this green flames, and as the one turns around and lifts up a board, as we see like this almost flame energy enveloping the axe, the mask, and the glove, as pretty much the average-looking man kind of picks him up and the child picks up the bowls. And as they're kind of sitting there staring at each other, confused, not sure what to do, we just kind of hear this like this round of applause, and they turn as they see this child of a man standing kind of on a rock, and he's like, well, my children, thank you for collecting my objects and bringing me here. Shall we go collecting? As the 3 figures begin to walk, well, the 4 figures begin to follow him, as one kind of just like as he talks, it's just like the average looking man, as he talks, is just like, yes sir, as like multiple voices seem to be talking. And as the springy man kind of turns and bends his knees and just almost like looks like a slinky, is just this laugh starts coming out of, like, it isn't clear. It's just like he just starts giggling as this giant man also just starts slowly walking. And the man that starts leading him turns to the child and is just, we're gonna have to drop you off somewhere religious, as this crooked grin like kind of pops, like cracks across his mouth as the child just looks up at him, and just like as it kind of fades, starts fading to black, we just hear, yes, sir. Kind of in the southern drawl that I can't do as a child. So, we are now back at, well, on the path up to Centralia. And, like, you guys are walking up there. I don't know if, not Caleb, he ain't here. He did. Actually. If David, has been up this way before. I don't know how much his investigations have gone up, but yeah, Percy, you're kind of leading the way as these two kind of older people that, funny enough, you're older than, up this way, and maybe you're just kind of getting flashbacks of like the crew of Charles, Sally, Cora, and Caleb all kind of taking, I think we said there's 2 routes. You guys took like this back route as children, and then there's another route that's a little bit more direct that, which I don't think Percy knows, because I think they made that as they went to go destroy everything up there. And like, no, nobody else is coming up here. So Percy's probably taking you to the I think it was a campsite, and from the campsite it's like this old way back. But it's a little bit easier as like maybe some of the stuff has rotted away in the 100 years that you've been here last. So, but so that way it's not killing our 70-year-olds.
We can't expend all of our energy yet.
Yeah. So
Just a minute, Percy. I'm working on it.
The whole time Deli's just like walking, like she'll like speed up and like squeeze Percy's arm or something just to make sure that he's not melting. And she'll make a comment. She'll be like, I'm just making sure. The last time I saw you, you melted in front of me. And then she'll like pull away and then just start asking him questions about like alternate realities and what it's like to live in a pocket dimension and how he's been adjusting to life on this reality. She's just like jabbering away at him.
And all of Percy's answers are either like nods, shrugs, or like one-word responses, like yes or no.
And Deli's not phased at all.
But I kind
it's
of
like talking with August.
Yeah, she's very used to this.
I also kind of imagine that Deli doesn't even give him the chance to answer more than one word at any point in time. It's,
Yeah,
as he
right.
said, yes, and that's the next question starts in.
Or she's like talking about something she read in one of her books that like answers her own question, or you know, something like that.
Yep.
So, but yeah, you guys make your way, and it's probably longer than Percy was hoping, but you finally make your way. We'll say, due to the high-speed driving of David, and the walk that takes there, maybe like they got there like in the afternoon, which it was only like an hour and a half later than what Percy was hoping them to be there.
It's a long time.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. At any rate, but now we'll say it's well, the sun would be staying up a little bit longer. I don't know when sunset is, but we'll say it's kind of mid-afternoon at this point. As you guys kind of get there, and Percy, you have to, like, you go and recreate the summoning circle and everything. You place the bowls in there, and before you can do everything, because I think you guys know the gists of everything But I think Theodore also like figured stuff out where it's maybe Percy and David, not Percy, David and Deli. You guys have heard of this ritual, and you're like, well, we don't. You guys are noticing that there's a lack of the components, the hair, the blood, the animal fat. I really wish I could remember what the last one was. Hold on, I'm gonna find it now. It would have been right here. It was right here. I'm gonna remember it later. Oh, fire. That was the last one. The fire in there. But as you're going through there, if Percy told you or he just started doing it, he started placing the artifacts, or maybe told you that the artifacts go in the bowl. Like, in one to each bowl.
Okay.
And then, yeah, and so if you guys set that up, you begin to, like, Percy, as you're kind of sitting there, you're like, as you're looking at this, you're like, well, maybe the thought comes to mind because you have a high mythos score. And maybe it comes to mind that, what's the fourth bowl for? And that's when Theodore shows up, conveniently. As he's just, things are almost here. So, Percy, you have a choice to make, but it's not here. And like he points to the bowl, and he's like, you have to go and stand in the fourth bowl.
What?
How big are these bowls?
Like, they're like, it's weird. Like when the artifacts almost seem to like lock in, like kind of like a pedestal, and they kind of hover in there, but they're not. It's not big enough for you to like stand or sit in. But he's just like, he's gonna like, maybe just from being with you so many times, you don't have to kill yourself or cut yourself or wait. You just need to sort of put your hand or your foot in. But here is the important thing. While the ritual is going, you cannot leave the bowl, no matter what shows up.
Deli's
Can
like,
you-
is there another choice?
Not for you. This is for Percy. It has to be Percy. Can I trust you with this?
I mean, what other choice do we have? And he just kind of shrugs his shoulders to himself and slowly walks over and just like steps in and puts a foot in the bowl.
Mm-hmm. And you feel like this tugging, like this odd tugging on like your foot as you kind of like start putting it in there. It's not like a strong like gonna topple you over or anything, but it seems like the bowl is accepting like you.
Okay.
And so, don't worry, Percy. We'll be done in 1 second. As he turns to Deli and David. Now, the reason you two are here. One of you must complete the ritual. And by complete, and like he reaches into his pocket and produces this text. And he's like, I need one to read this text until we're done. The other we need to protect, but also guide the spirit to the circle.
David just sort of nods towards Deli for the book, and I kind of played the protector role throughout our life. I guess one more trip over the through the rodeo, or one more rodeo. Guess we gotta do it.
Deli like hands out her hand for the book.
It's more like a piece of paper,
Or whatever
not a
it is,
whole book.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like a scrap of paper, and it's just, here you go. And like he looks at you, Deli, and it's just, with this, you cannot stop, no matter what happens to us, no matter what Percy says. You must complete this. And
It's terrible.
And it's just, you must say this line. I just realized I think it's actually in here. Let me see. I think I sent it to you guys in here. Nope. I thought I posted it in the Discord, but I didn't. It's pretty much the words that were said in the beginning.
Yeah.
Which I can type it out if you actually want to say it. If you're not, like, it's just Latin words, so.
I mean, it's up to you. Do you want that going on in the background while whatever's happening is happening?
We can just say you're saying it, and then
Okay.
we go
Yep.
on.
Yep.
When he starts, it's just like, you have to say this phrase for a minute. And it's like, and don't worry, we'll tell you when to start. And it's like, while you guys are kind of getting position, this storm begins to like roll in, like as the clouds begin. It was like a sunny day, and now these dark clouds are beginning to roll in, and you kind of hear thunder, and it's like, we don't have much time left. It seems the last one that I tasked with his job is coming. And so, does everyone know their job?
Well, how do I guide this spirit?
Just not.
And Lane, don't you have your gun?
Yes, but where is the spirit I'm guiding? Where do I guide it to?
And he points at the storm. It's there. Pretty much, if it begins to leave, it's going to be pulled to the circle. But if it tries to leave, then do what you do best.
Guide with bullets. Got it.
Mm-hmm. That gun is special.
So David's going
And then,
to
like-
pull his gun out and double check that it's fully loaded, and
Oh, you shot yourself in the foot. Man, that's
he
awkward.
has. Oh, wow, that would be doubly bad.
Yep.
Here's the bullet damage plus the non-monster damage.
Yep. That's when we find out that David was the monster all along. But anyway, you're driving. He's like, we don't have much time, and then maybe this like large crack of lightning happens, and you guys could have sworn that lightning was green. Like, it's just strange. But then, you know what? I said we would roll stuff. Everyone that wants to, give me a listen check.
Let's see. That is a 77 over 61.
Ooh, I got an 8 under 20.
All right.
Oh, I
And
got Oh, sorry.
Okay. I was gonna say this isn't like super important to spend luck on.
I got a 32 under 57.
All right. I guess this makes sense as David's kind of checking his gun, as like all of a sudden you hear like what sounds like a ATV or not. I think not. Is that what the 4-wheeler dirt quads? Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
I was like, I said letters, and I'm like, I don't know if that's what I'm actually meaning. But anyway, like, you guys hear like an engine going through the woods as Ling pulling up before them. Like this man nods to Theodore, and well, I might need John to re-say what I'm about to say. As Hank Filster is there, and he's like, I got him. Hope you're ready. As he's here, and he was the last person drawing in this spirit, as pretty much like maybe says something along the lines like, hey, as long as you're paying, as he like looks to Theodore, which I don't think, now I'm thinking about it, did he ever meet Theodore? I know Theodore showed up in the chapter he was in, but
I don't
like,
think
I don't
he
remember
met
if he actually-
Theodore.
Yeah.
I don't think he did.
so.
I don't. Yeah, I think I wasn't I chasing? I think I was chasing the suspect.
Mhm.
I didn't like meet. If anything, I may have saw him or thought I saw him, if even that. But
Yeah,
I never
I feel-
talked to him.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so Hank is there. Like, I don't know. I can just imagine this. Feel free to correct me if you don't want that. But Deli's just like maybe like Theodore is like giving the nod and like sees Hank and wants to go talk to Hank as Theodore's like, it's time, start. All right. And so this is what we're gonna do. I want everyone to. Well, first we're gonna go there. As in a moment, I'm gonna need power rolls. For everybody. So if you don't have it up for Hank, that's fine. Like we won't include him unless you're able to access his character sheet quickly.
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay, so these power rolls, pretty much it's for Percy to stay in the bowl. But I feel like with Percy's everything, give him an extra 20% for that roll.
Okay.
For Deli, this is going to be. It's either going to be intelligence or occult to make sure that you say this phrase correctly.
Okay.
For David and Hank, this is going to, I think, it can either be power to make sure that you're going to guide whatever is coming to stay on track, whether it's through runes, through bullets, through whatever. It's either going to be that, or if you have a gun skill, that is possible, or if you want, well, I guess power would be using your runes and all that. And so we got those things. Theodore's gonna Theodore, and I think that is everything. So get prepared for all of that. As bursting out through the trees is this like sparking green snake, as it's just like hisses, and by large, it's made out of like energy, like almost like lightning. As now the storm is upon you, the wind and the rain is whipping around. Give me your rolls.
Okay, I did an intelligence check and I have a 20 under 65.
All right, is that a hard?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
like everyone is just hearing that everything, and it's just Percy. You feel like the center of the circle just almost like pulling. It feels like this like soft tug onto you as well, as like into the center of the circle, as like the body of the snake begins being pulled in. for both Hank and David, you guys are going to get an extra 10 for the hard success right now.
Okay, and we're doing all power rolls?
You can do power, or if you have a gun skill. I think gun would probably work more with David.
David's going to guide with his gun, which with the extra 10 would make that a... Let's see, is that that raises the target value,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
Well, it makes
Raise
it
by 10.
It makes it a 12 under 72 for the for that, which is an extreme.
Okay.
Very good at guiding
what
with
are-
bullets.
Unlike his father. Anyway. What about you, Hank? What you doing? Power?
No, so Hank will do a gun skill, and Percy will be doing power.
Okay. We'll do Percy in a second.
Okay, so it's plus 10 to whatever the existing is?
Yes.
All right, so then Hank rolled an 83 under 96.
83 under 96. Okay. So, yeah, you both perfectly guide this snake like creature that is just like screaming and screeching. Theodore, he also... Oh, that was a fun roll. It's like the most middling roll I could do. Like, he almost, like, it seems he does like this. He kind of like phases in and phases out, and then like all of a sudden he's like on, like over top of the, like kind of just standing on the head of the snake as he kind of like guides it face first towards the center of the circle. And now, since there was a hard and extreme, give yourself another 10%, Percy, for keeping your hand in there.
So Percy's getting 30%?
Yeah, 30% total.
Okay. So then he is 69 under 100.
Oh, well, you couldn't even fail. I didn't even know how many you had.
That's nice.
Dang, broken character. And so...
Internet's favorite number.
True.
Yeah.
And so, like, the snake, like, hisses and is, like, screaming, and then all of a sudden, like, Theodore, like, almost, like, stomps his foot down as it, like, its head falls onto the ground in front of there's this giant, like, flash of light as, like, the artifacts are just, like, shaking and everything as Percy's just fighting through, like, the shock waves of... It almost looks like the ground has opened up and is, like, pulling the snake down into it. As this giant flash of light and thunder crackles, and when you all open your eyes, the snake is gone, the bowls are gone, the artifacts are gone, and Percy is gone.
No! No.
But Theodore is
As
there.
Theodore is standing there, he is standing on the outside of the circle, and he's like, well, I don't think you will know, but we'll see if, well, he can succeed.
Is Percy okay?
Worst that could happen is nothing changes. Well, that's not true. There could be worse. Let's just say nothing could change. But then again, everything could change. Time will tell.
Theodore, can you possibly give us a straight answer for once?
No. As he kind of just like as almost like his connection is like being disrupted. He's like, well, I guess we're done. You can go home. And is like is gone. And from there, we'll just fade away for a second.
Theodore never gives us an answer.
Exactly. He's my favorite character.
I feel like I can't even be Deli right now because Deli would not be super phased by this. Elizabeth is feeling upset that she might lose Percy twice in a campaign.
Well, here. I'll make it easy. You don't have to be Deli anymore. Percy, you open your eyes. As you open your eyes, you see a scene that you haven't seen in a long time. Because you look to your left, and then you look to your right, and you see Cora, Caleb, Charles, and Sally. You are 11 years old. In front of you is Cutter's cabin. You know everything that you know up to this point. And you know this is like, Sally is pretty much like right on the verge of, come on, I dare you. What are you, chicken? We're going to go up there. And it's like, you feel like right before you're just like, said something on the course of like, I didn't know you guys were all babies.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Percy's not going to say anything currently. He's looking around him very kind of confused. Kind of like, touching himself, make sure like he feels real. He kind of like sort of like pokes one of whoever's closest to him
Cora.
to see if they're real.
It's Cora.
And so it's just very like currently in sort of like mental whiplash trying to figure out what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
So at the moment, he's not going to say what he may have said back originally when they were kids.
Mm-hmm. And John might not remember what he said 2 years ago.
I don't.
It was very much heckling the other kids to go look at.
I know that, yeah, there's probably some heckling, but yeah.
But yeah, and then like Sally sees this and like looks to, I think it was Caleb, because he's like, Caleb was like, on the lines like, I don't want to get in trouble. Like, we don't want to get in trouble. And he's like, now look what you did, Caleb. Now you got Percy all scared. Am I really going to be the one to go up and go and show you Cutter's cabin is just a big hoax? By the way, Elizabeth and Nite, you are in charge of your character. You are Cora and Caleb. Like, if you want to say things as the times change from Percy's interactions, feel free.
Yeah, Cora like looks confused at Percy, and she's like, "Are you okay?"
Percy is still like kind of looking around and looks at her and is like, I'm not sure.
Sally, you know this is a bad idea. You know we're not supposed to go out there.
Can Percy attempt to use Cthulhu Mythos to reach out to Theodore for like some sort of direction? Because like, I get that I either have the choice of like going to the cabin again or not going to the cabin. I'm not entirely sure which is the better option.
If you can roll it, but it's
all right. Percy's going to like just kind of like mentally reach out and try and like connect with Theodore.
Mm-hmm.
And what was that? Stupid bag. That is that's a 67 over 50.
Yeah, there's no response. And
Okay. All right. For now, Percy's not going to say anything, but he's not going to stop anything. So if the other kids are still pushing to go to the cabin, he is
Only
going to...
one kid is pushing to go to the cabin.
Okay.
And that's Sally. So
It's been so long, I don't remember the entire setup for how we were.
I will
So
let-
it was
I will
because
let-
of Percy.
it was yes, Percy is the one that was the big
Because
proponent for
Cor-
going up there.
And Cora wouldn't have left him.
Yes,
So
Cora wouldn't leave Percy.
yeah.
Right. No, I know. So
Yeah,
I'm trying
and then-
to remember if, like, because we walked in on a summoning, so, like, or, like, a ritual. So, like...
You and Sally were the ones that saw the ritual. This is like
Right.
moments before you guys snuck up there.
We haven't even started going yet. We're
So
still
it-
arguing about if we are going to go.
Yeah, like you
right.
were at the clearing, and Lane, I think if I remember, actually, hold on, I might.
Is this a spot where you were
back
like
to-
looking across at the cabin,
Yes.
and they were considering going up and looking in?
Let's see, stupid phone. Come on. Here we go. To help jog people's memories, you guys see a small log cabin that is dark, in the middle of this clearing. As you guys draw closer, you see there's illumination from inside, and that you're hearing not voices, but you're hearing noises. We know now that it's the chanting of the ceremony. Sally wants to peek inside and get closer, and I think Percy was also like, yeah, let's do this. And so but yeah, it's this chanting and everything is going on right now.
Yeah, so Cora is like, Sally, we came up here just like you wanted to. We don't need to go any further. Let's just go back.
No, but there's something in there. Come on, you can't tell me you're not curious.
Sally, we're going to get in trouble. We're not supposed to be here.
Well, I'm gonna go look. Percy?
Sally!
Look, if Percy doesn't go, I won't go. And with that, we'll see you next week.
John has 5 minutes to figure out what he's doing.
All right. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.